And we're live back after the draft and everything, all the craziness that's happened after this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
It's got a lot to talk about, obviously. So, obviously, a bunch of trades were made during the draft.
Some
Um,
shocking.
Some shocking, not so
Others
much
a
cap
little.
reasons wise, but
Yes.
obviously, we haven't really touched on this, but we'll talk about it a little later in the podcast. But the Flyers finally signed K's, and we'll get to that deal and everything, what we think about that, and obviously the draft.
Yes.
We'll do a little recap of everything there, but I think we can kind of start out with this because this kind of affects every team, and I feel like we should start with the cap for
Yes,
the upcoming
absolutely.
season, which was gone up a little bit, but not as much as people expected it to be.
Right. The cap is officially set at. Or sorry, let me put it this way: the upper limit, so the total cap has been officially set to $81.5 million for the 2019-2020 season, and the lower limit to $60.2 million.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The Vegas Golden Knights are the only team above the upper limit at the present time. And 6 teams, including Philadelphia, are currently below the lower limit.
Mm-hmm.
The other 5 teams are the Winnipeg Jets, the New Jersey Devils, Columbus Blue Jackets, Ottawa Senators, and Colorado Avalanche.
Which it was speculated earlier in the week that it would be around
82,
80.
83.
Yeah. So
I
they
think
pretty much
most
just
were
went-
even expecting at least 82, but the
Yeah.
fact that it's below that,
Yeah,
that hurts a
that
lot
does.
of teams.
And it's something I texted you about when you texted me about it the other day. I was like, that's probably going to be something that's brought up the next time there's a meeting between players. and
Yes,
the league.
100%.
Because there's also this rumor that there's possibly going to be another lockout,
Yeah.
which, we've already had so many. Why not have another?
Yep, third time's the charm.
Yep. Let's hope they actually come to an agreement before then. But
Yeah, that would be great because
This
I cannot use a year
Yeah.
without hockey. I think I would drive myself insane.
yeah,
Literally.
I mean, because I don't really remember the 05 season when there was no league.
Yeah,
I have vague memories of it.
I have
Not
vague
much,
memories.
but more so the
The
more
2013
recent, yeah, the one where it's
Partial lockout.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was not fun either.
no.
But then again,
that's the one that we kind of remember.
Yeah.
But there's been a bunch under Getman.
yeah, as much as I hate to say it, we did get the best hockey that season because all the
Yeah.
players were well rested and everything. 48 games played, and that was honestly the best Stanley Cup final I've ever seen between the Blackhawks and the Bruins. It was back and forth action. It was awesome. It had everything you could want.
Yep.
Yeah, so that happened, and then there's one team on that list that made a major trade for their organization.
Oh yeah, and
The
the
New Jersey Devils.
Yep.
So, looking at the trade,
It was PK Subban. It was a trade with the Predators for PK Subban for defenseman Steven Santini, Jeremy Davis, a 2020 second-round pick, and a 2019 second-round pick.
that's
and you
big
look
for
at
New
this,
Jersey.
it is, but you also look at this and like they didn't really have to give up that much.
They didn't, which is the most shocking part.
Which I'm gonna bring this back to the Flyers point. You could have easily made this trade as well.
Yeah,
You obviously had the cap space to take on Subban. Obviously, if you wanted
Right.
to take it on Braun or Niskanen.
yeah,
And obviously, I would have preferred Subban over both of them, honestly.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah,
Because Subban if you put Subban with Provorov, that's obviously...
that's lethal.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I know a lot of teams were struggling with on why they didn't go after Subban is because the Devils are taking on Subban's full contract. And that's a big one.
And if we look at they have 25.7 in cap right now, so they had enough to take on it. So, and
They
obviously
did.
had a big weekend.
Yes, yeah, and they also drafted, of course,
They were
Jack
obviously the
Hughes.
first overall. So yeah, they got Jack Hughes and PK Subban.
Yes.
In a span of like a day. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think these moves are more so to see if they can try to keep Hall.
Right.
Honestly,
I agree with
for
that.
me, I don't think it's enough to keep Hall, but that's just me.
You never know. I think acquiring Subban was a big. Well, obviously Hughes is a big start.
Because I don't know how
Subban helps a lot more.
I don't know how players feel about New Jersey, playing in New Jersey.
Right.
Versus, I can get it for if you're playing in Columbus because it's not the biggest city. Why people might not want to go there, but New Jersey obviously have a bunch of teams right around you. So,
Yeah. They do have a historic franchise history.
Yeah, there's that, and obviously it's not the same New Jersey team where I'm going to be playing in front of
Brodeur.
You're playing in front of Corey Schneider.
Yeah.
And the past couple seasons he's been
a little
meh.
struggle. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no.
But Blackwood has
yeah.
played actually almost as well as Carter Hart did last year. So there's some hope there for them.
Absolutely.
You hope maybe this is the year that Zacha comes out of his shell.
I don't know what's been going on with Zacha.
I don't know, because if they don't, he's an RFA, so I don't know what he's not going to get as much as. He's an RFA.
Wow.
He's definitely not going to get as much as the other guys, especially that draft.
No,
and obviously
not.
Marner, and
yeah,
he's even going to make less than Skinner.
Way less,
because he's not really produced anything.
He hasn't proven himself.
No.
Travis Konechny, who was the 24th overall pick in that draft, has proven a lot more than Zacha, who went
and unfortunately
4th overall.
I don't know if they might get the same amount, him and Zacha, if I had to think.
I mean, depending on how that is, that can't hurt the Flyers at all.
No.
Because the way we're talking, that's going to be a pretty low number if he's going to get a similar, if not almost the same contract as Pavel Zacha.
Yeah.
Because Konechny, he's proven himself.
Sure.
Zacha hasn't.
Konechny will probably make more than Sanheim just because he's proven himself more in the NHL than Sanheim, but Sanheim will get a decent amount.
He had a good breakout season last year. He's just going to get better.
Mm-hmm. But is that enough to do like a kind of small deal now and then a bigger deal later as he's a little
we'll see
farther in?
We'll see.
Another one, too, well, I guess we'll get to this later, is what Couturier will get when his contract goes up.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I feel, just the only reason why I say that is because I didn't realize he was an RFA until now, is that he is 22 now.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer do you give him to, what if we just put him on the trade block?
What I would do...
Or is it like a Strome or even like a Puljujärvi, because he even said he wants out.
Yeah, Puljujärvi, he wants out.
He wants out. Just
otherwise, he's going to Russia, he said.
Or
wherever he is, yeah.
He's got supposedly headed a deal for a team in Russia or whatever.
Yeah.
But he also still wants to play for an NHL.
Well, obviously, I don't blame him.
He also, the only reason why he wants to trade is the fresh start thing.
Yes, absolutely. That I get.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you saw how it was with Strome when he was traded to Chicago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a similar thing with soccer or not, but
it's possible. I think that first for Puljujärvi, he definitely needs a fresh start because he's gotten very little playing time, and for such a high draft pick, I think he went third overall.
He's also going to have a similar surgery that both Giroux and
Gostisbehere had.
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
And obviously we saw
not only one, but it's going to be surgeries on both.
Yeah, and we saw how that next season after they had the surgery was kind of off a little bit for them. So.
And that was only with one surgery, but with two, that he's gonna be really, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Patrick Marleau, he is now a member of the Carolina Hurricanes for now.
But also before we get to that, it's obviously just the Nashville part of this.
Oh yes,
trade.
Sorry. That's right.
Was more so to get because what's their cap
to clear
now?
The cap. Yeah,
clear the cap
they
to
got
try
a lot of cap back from this trade.
Where are they?
They are at 13.19
and they're going to try to. I think they're the front runner at the moment to land Duchesne.
Yes, I would.
That's why.
Agree.
That's essentially why they made the.
Also,
deal.
they did announce that Wayne Simmons is not coming back, so that's a couple mil going back their way. They are trying to re-sign Brian Boyle, which I think is a good depth move.
It's a good depth move, and it's not going to be much.
Exactly. Colton Sissons, he's an RFA. He's going to get a decent amount of money. I don't expect a whole lot, but
Mhm.
he's in good shape there.
And also, once we do our in-depth look of the Predators, we'll look at that more. But
Yes, for sure.
just for that, I feel like that's obviously a move to try to aim for Duchesne.
What did you think of? Because I'm glad you brought that up. What did you think about the whole trade? In its entirety.
I honestly, for the Devils, other than having to take on his full contract, it's kind of a steal for him.
Yeah,
because I think would have had to give up a little more to
because
get him.
I mean, obviously, it kind of hurts losing 2 second-round picks.
Yeah,
but at the same time, if you're only losing that and 2 prospects, like those guys, I mean,
obviously,
don't get me wrong.
Obviously, they weren't going to lose the first overall.
No, absolutely
so
not. Yeah, definitely not. But honestly, I've never heard of Santini or Davies before.
Davies is an AHL guy. It's a prospect, essentially, they got back from.
Yeah. So
if you look at his stats, this next season is going to be in the AHL for him.
So, I don't know. It's
it's
definitely not enough.
Northeastern University.
Mm-hmm.
He put up 36 points last season.
Yeah.
As a defenseman.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but the weird thing was that happened on day 2 of the draft, not day 1.
Mm-hmm.
That happened during like the second round, I think. Yeah, no, obviously it had to because the Devils acquired the Predators.
It happened on the second day.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, but that's where and once that trade broke, 2 other trades broke out.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Marleau.
Yep.
And a 2026 round pick to the Carolina Hurricanes for a 2020 conditional first round pick and a 2027 round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at.
And the belief there is that Carolina's just going to probably buy out Marleau
Most
before
likely.
the buyout period ends.
Yeah, and then
30th.
the condition is if the Leafs pick is top 10 in 2020, the Hurricanes will receive Toronto's first round pick in 2021. So, obviously, I don't expect that to happen.
No. So, it's going to be 2020.
Yes, exactly. It's a strange condition, but it is what it is.
It isn't, but at least if Toronto is at the things where, like, if we were to fall off here, we still get a first round if it's top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think it's going to happen.
No.
The teams, even if they were to lose Marner somehow, they still are a team I would think would be in the playoffs and not top 10 of the draft.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so I was a little surprised that the Maple Leafs gave up a first round pick.
Yeah. But if you're the Maple Leafs again,
it's clearing cap space.
It's cap space, and your first round pick, even though it's first round, you're near the end of the first round.
Right.
So that's not as valuable.
It's at least at 20.
It's valuable in the sense it's a first round pick still.
Yeah.
But not so much because it's near the end of the first round.
It's at least going to be 20th overall or higher.
Yeah.
Or lower. Yeah, lower technically, I should say. And
for Carolina,
I know they're trying to pry him into staying, but it's very unlikely he would want to go back to San Jose, so they'll just buy him out, and he'll probably re-sign in San Jose.
If I had to guess, I might just go to June 30th, and then they buy him out.
Yeah.
If you're going to spend now, today's the 24th, the next 6 days or whatever, to try to convince him to stay.
Yeah. It's not a whole lot of time.
Mm-hmm. But if they do cut him, I think they will. Because I don't think they've signed Williams yet.
I'm on their cap friendly page right now. They have to. So they didn't re-sign him. Michael Furlan's a UFA. Also, Sebastian Aho and Brock McGinn are both RFAs.
Yeah.
Peter Mrazek and Chris McElhaney are UFAs. So obviously, Aho's going to get a boatload of money.
Mm-hmm.
For Williams,
wasn't it also believed that they were going to buy out Scott Darling too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Scott Darling's going to go. That's $4.15 million for his contract for 3 more years.
That's probably why they might be hesitant on it. Because if they're already buying out Darling, would they really want to buy out a second?
Right. So that's the tough part.
Mm-hmm.
That really is.
And obviously, Marleau still brings some value too.
Yep. Yeah, his contract $6.25 million for 2 years. Yeah. So
All right, I got that for when you talk about the Flyers.
there you go.
But yeah.
Oh,
that's-
also, this is a trade that happened 6 days ago. We didn't actually 2 trades. The first one I don't think we mentioned. Jacob Trouba to the Rangers.
Oh yeah, we didn't
for 2019 first round pick and Neil Pionk or Pionk. I don't know. Sorry. That was a little surprising. The fact that the Rangers swooped in and got Trouba.
Yeah.
So now the fact that they have obviously they took Capo
Yeah.
Kakko with the second overall pick since Hughes is gone.
and that
They
was
have
another
Trouba
thing.
and Kakko.
That's another thing I want to talk about in this podcast, which
Yes.
we'll get to a little later. But
Mm.
just talking about the Metro and everything.
It is going to be dangerous.
But before we move on from Toronto,
yes,
obviously Marner and his
Yes,
RFA
Marner, yes.
situation. It also happened at the deadline that both Kapanen and Johnson had a deal in place, just not really signed yet.
right.
And I think the belief there is that it's all on Mitch Marner for
It
why they
really
haven't.
is.
I guess their way of saying if you leave, these guys are you can get more. If you stay, it's going to be less for them. Because Marner's agent and Cal Dubas did not speak during the draft.
Yeah.
So that to me means their negotiations are pretty far off.
Yes.
Just from the outsider standpoint, I really know what's going on inside, but which then begs the question of, will somebody offer sheet Mitch Marner?
I think teams will definitely offer sheet him. It's a matter of who, though, because I'm just trying to figure out which teams would be able to afford him.
Mm-hmm. Before the Flyers made their trades and everything and signing Hayes, I would have said them, but they can't afford him now.
It's definitely not possible. Or with Braden Point.
Yeah.
My thing is...
And we'll get to that in a little bit, too.
Yeah. It's... I'm just trying to think of... Because think about this. Not only would you want to, re-sign your players, but you then have to worry about RFAs. You might want to offer sheet. So,
and you also don't want to give them too much, too, because you still have to improve your defense.
Exactly.
That's what's struggling, keeping you from going far in the playoffs and everything, is your defense isn't strong.
Yeah.
Your offense has always proven it, and even if you lose Marner, you're still going to prove it just because you still have Tavares, Matthews, Nylander.
Right. Yeah, I think teams are definitely going to offer sheet him. I just don't know.
Because after the Skinner trading, his value then went up.
Yeah.
From there,
It did.
what you're expecting
really
he's going to
did.
get. And obviously, because I just said a second ago, Tampa Bay also made a trade with Vancouver.
They did.
Who I believe we were going to talk about today as well.
Yes,
a
we
little
are.
later on, but
we can bring up the trade. JT Miller is going to Vancouver for goalie Marek Mazane, 2019 third-round pick and 2020 conditional first-round pick. And the condition on that, let me bring it up here, is if the Canucks did not make the playoffs in 2019-2020, the first-round pick moves to the 2021 draft.
That's probably going to happen. I don't really see
Right, I
them
was going to say, I don't know.
They might be improved from this past season, but I still don't think it's enough to make them to the playoffs.
Right.
Obviously, Miller would be an improvement for some of the younger guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
because his contract...
he's only 26.
Yeah, but he has a 5.25 cap hit until 2023-2024. That's a lot of years. Good news is for Vancouver, he's locked up. It's a decent hit. They have 17.7 mil left in cap space.
Yeah. They probably didn't really need to make the trade because all that really did was help the Lightning out.
It did. It really, really did.
And obviously, while we're talking about the Lightning as well, is
Because they had 10.6 mil.
that and the news that came the other day on Ryan Callahan.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let me bring it up here. This was a little surprising. The fact that this
Yeah.
came about. I feel horrible for him. Let me bring it up here. I had it way down on my timeline. Because when did this happen?
I think before the draft, definitely.
It was definitely before the draft.
Degenerative back disease.
Yes. And it's recommended that he
It is.
will,
Yeah.
or he should not play professional hockey anymore.
Yeah. So it's a likely career-ending injury for
Yes.
Ryan Callahan, which sucks for him because he was always even when he was with the Rangers, he was always a Flyers killer.
Yeah.
Even though he was never the most offensive guy, he was always good at defensively, and the one team he would always be able to score against was Philadelphia.
With Philly, yeah.
Not that we had the best goaltending then, but still. It sucks for him.
It really does. I
he
do
came
feel
so
bad.
close with the Rangers at winning, and just
Same thing
never-
with Tampa
Oh wait,
Bay.
no, that was when they traded him for St. Louis, wasn't it?
Yes, it
When they won
was.
the Stanley Cup.
Yes, it was. St. Louis is close, but Callahan came close. More, he went to 3 conference finals and
Mhm.
1 finals appearance.
Yeah.
But it is recommended that he no longer play professional hockey. I do wish just once he
Mhm.
would have won a cup. He's
Yeah.
a hell of a player, and I feel awful for him.
He was on a team that could have given him it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure somehow Tampa Bay is going to do some classy move of kind of
Yeah.
devoting the season to him or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or they'll wear like a patch like his number.
Yeah. So he's being placed on long-term injury reserve. That does not provide cap relief, however. It simply allows a club to exceed their upper limit. It is far from an ideal situation and can handcuff teams who use it.
Mm-hmm.
It limits who the club can recall. Accruing cap space becomes very difficult, and exceeding the limit can result in overages.
Which is also why they traded away JT
Miller, yes.
Because they still have to resign Point.
Yes.
So now their cap is 10.6 mil.
And for Tampa Bay themselves is confirmed by their GM that all of the team's RFAs have received qualifying offers ahead of the June 25th deadline, which is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that includes Braden Point, Cedric Paquette, Danik Martel, Adam Ern, Mason Thomas Holtz, and Verhaeghe, for something like that. But so that's good there. I do feel bad for Callahan.
Mhm.
He's a good player.
Which to me means
He's a great
Girardi
guy.
and Strawman aren't coming back.
Yeah. Also about Strawman, because I did see this.
They did resign Braden Coburn too for 2 years,
They did.
just for every player.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You have a jersey of him, right?
Oh,
Just hanging
of
up in your room
course.
somewhere.
Absolutely.
Mhm. You look at it every day. It's like, why did we trade him away?
Every day. I look at before I get to bed
Mm-hmm.
and just say, oh.
Thank you for Racco Gudas.
Oh my god. But for Strawman, it appears that other teams are interested in
Mhm.
him.
And Girardi, I'm not really sure if maybe New Jersey might take him back for a small deal or if he kind of just hangs up the skates.
Possibly.
He is 35.
Yeah.
So
Also, speaking of Tampa Bay, the Lightning drafted
me.
Nolan Foote, the 27th overall pick.
Why would they just get his foot? Why not the whole player?
Well, because they have the other Foote in Cal Foote,
Mm.
who are both the sons of Adam Foote, former Colorado Avalanche. So both Cal and Nolan Foote are together in Tampa Bay.
So they got 2 feet.
They got yeah, my man. I love it. Oh gosh. But so there's all the trades.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the major trades. So there's also John Hayden from Chicago going to New Jersey for forward John Quenneville. So I guess Chicago does miss Quenneville after all.
But before I look at or move on, just thinking of Vancouver, I get it that they're kind of only play each other twice. One's in the Pacific, the other's in the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you're a team, or any team in the NHL, and you see how good the Lightning are, and even though they struggled this season or whatever to make it past the first round, obviously, why would you give them something to kind of help them out?
Oh. Sorry, I'm hungry.
Because now you just gave them a little more cap relief
Yeah.
by taking that trade.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And now it just kind of says, okay, now we can re-sign Point.
It really
or
is.
at least we can attempt to, unless someone says, okay.
Well, honestly, I think that Tampa
and also
Bay,
Point has said in the past that he would take a pay cut, I think.
Yeah. So look at it this way. They have $10.6 million.
Mm-hmm.
They have to re-sign, if they want to, Dan Girardi, Anton Strawman.
They don't have to.
I know. They don't have to if they want to. So we already know
And
that Braden Point, Adam Earn, Dan Martell, Cedric Paquette
mm-hmm.
have all received
offers.
because they're RFAs.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see if they'll accept them.
I think I'm happy for
I think
Dan Martell.
all the other guys outside of Point will say yes.
Yes.
Point might, but I'm just now curious of what he's going to get.
I am too. I honestly, I'm kind of curious to see if he's waiting for Marner.
He probably is, but it's not going to be like the Harper and Machado
thing, yeah.
where they try to literally wait for the last minute.
Players are actually
yeah, it doesn't
more-
take
less-
it doesn't take months to get deals done and everything.
It doesn't take that long.
Obviously, RFA, it's a little different because that.
So yeah, those are all of the
Because I would have to believe
trades
if
basically.
because Point is, would you say a better player than Marner? I know they're both really good players, but I would give the edge a little bit to Point.
I'm trying to think. I love both players.
Mm-hmm.
Point. So I think Marner, as good as he is, he's more of a playmaker. By the way, breaking news: the Flyers announced that they've re-signed Travis Sanheim to a 2-year, $6.5 million deal, $3.25 million average.
Mm-hmm. And as Travis Sanheim's best friend, he's going to give me a little bit of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give some to my partner here.
All right. So Sanheim gets a bridge deal there.
Yep. That's kind of what I assumed he was going to get.
Yeah. I am.
Point's not going to get a bridge deal.
Yeah. So I'm content with the fact that it's only $3.25 million.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to push it to 3 years, but hey, at least locks them up for 2 years. I'm content with that. And then, further down the road, we can re-sign them again.
Discusses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Mm-hmm. Now they just have to deal with Konechny and Provorov as the bigger ones.
Yeah. So that was good. But sorry.
You still had not answered my question, sir.
Sorry, I got distracted by the breaking news.
Yes. Point Marner, if you were starting a team, if you were a GM to a team and they're both available, which one do you go after?
It depends on what your team needs. If you need like a pure goal scorer, I would go after Braden Point.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a playmaker, I consider that more of Mitch Marner. For me,
there's also this too. Marner's winger, Point plays center and
yes.
right wing.
Yes. Honestly, and also not only that, but for Point, for some teams, he could be a number one center. So
almost every team except for maybe Toronto and Tampa Bay.
Yes, exactly. In Tampa Bay, he's a number two center because obviously you Steve
obviously
Stamkos.
outside of Crosby and
Yes.
them as well.
David, yeah. But I'm content with signing Braden Point.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love Point. He's speed, so does, Marner, but I love Braden Point's play. And he's such a great player. Sure, you could argue, he's with Stamkos and Kucherov, but you could also argue Marner with Matthews and
True.
And whoever else, but Marleau. But I will go with Braden Point.
Mm-hmm. But this is something Mitch and I were talking about the other day. And, I was obviously William Karlsson before I get to that.
Yes.
He resigned.
Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah.
But under $6 million. How does Vegas manage to do that?
I don't know. Oh, it hasn't been approved. I don't think it's been finalized yet.
It has not been finalized. It's going to be announced in another day or two.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Because right now the projected cap space is a total 0.
Fun.
But yeah, that was going to be 8 years. Well, like 8 years, 8 million, something like that.
No, it's gonna be announced 8 years, but under $6 million. It's like 5.8 or something like that.
Okay. But as I was saying, since a lot of the RFAs are really good, and the fact that all the RFAs are available are better than the UFAs, Mitch brought this point up to me over the weekend. Of because there's so many people, he feels that if no one gets offer sheeted this offseason, that people shouldn't really be talking about offer sheets anymore because it's just not going to happen.
Right.
How do you feel about that? Think about that or whatever.
I don't know.
He's mainly and because those RFAs also have cap issues, so he's talking about obviously Point, Martyr, and Line in Winnipeg.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's always a hard thing to do because if you do it, you do lose a bunch of draft picks or whatever.
Yeah. So like if you. Because here, repeat the question one more time. I just want to really get a good grasp on it. Can you just repeat the question again?
That if nobody's gets offer sheeted this offseason, that we shouldn't really talk about it, or be expected to have another offer sheet or someone get offer sheeted.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because obviously you would lose some. Just saying his side of it, you would lose some assets and draft picks and everything.
Yeah.
But if you were to get a player back, Marner, or a Point, or
it would be worth it.
It'd be worth it because those players, although not developed completely yet or know what you're going to get, most likely they're not going to be yet of the caliber of a Marner or them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's more so because those teams have cap issues. So if you're going to do it, now would be the time because then they would have to really scramble or whatever.
Yep. Yeah,
because I
don't know.
The only one I know the Flyers made one because I don't really remember any other really RFAs that were close, but outside of the Flyers trying to get Shea Weber a couple years ago.
That
actually came down to like the last
it literally
minute.
came down to the wire. But looking back, obviously it's in hindsight. Man, that's it. The fact that Nashville matched that, saved
it saved
the Flyers.
Us. It hurt them.
It absolutely saved the Flyers because they wouldn't have Ivan Provorov, probably not Travis Konechny, not German Rubisov, and I don't think Morgan Frost.
Yeah.
Or Joel Farabee or any of those guys. Because they
Is
would have
there-
lost a first-round pick
Yeah.
for 3-4 years in a row
Mhm.
at least.
Which obviously there's a cost to going after these players, but
Yes.
players you get, the player you're going after, you would hope would be the turning point or whatever. And now that some trades have been made, I don't even know the teams that would even be able to afford those guys, even if they were going to.
Yeah.
Since Poyarvi is an RFA, do you think they sign him and then trade
Sign
him?
and trade? I can see
Or
that.
do they just do the Winnipeg thing and just
Or trade his
rights?
rights. Either are realistic. All they know is they need to get something in
Mhm.
return
There
for him.
are a bunch of good RFAs.
Yeah.
Sebastian Aho, Kachuk, just named a couple other ones.
Yeah.
And everyone, I'm interested in see what they're going to get as a contract or whatever. And obviously now, because I think we talked about most. Oh, yeah, Ryan Miller also. This isn't really the biggest thing, but Ryan Miller's re-signed.
Yes.
We were kind of questioning on whether, when you talked about the Ducks the other day, if they were going to re-sign Miller or not, and looks like they did. There they go. Good for Miller. Obviously, he's not the same goalie as he was before, but I think he could be. I still think he could be a solid backup.
Right.
Obviously, I think his health's going to be the bigger question, but when you're playing in front of Gibby, they're probably not going to be playing as much. So, I say with Carter Hart as a starter, that kind of thing. Because you think if the Jonathan Quicks and them get, what we'd say, like 80% of the starts during the season,
Right.
whereas Hart might get like 70 to 75%.
I could definitely see that. This is big for a lot of reasons for Anaheim. 'Cause they locked up a real strong veteran.
And for Gibby, too, because he's still learning.
He's still
and
very young.
everything.
He's 25.
He's 25, and who better to learn from than Miller? Obviously, he hasn't won a cup yet or anything, but
Right.
he came not really that close. But he's seen playoff experience and everything.
Yes.
So obviously, Gibby has now, too, but he can at least be a mentor
Yes.
to him.
He can continue being one for him.
Mm-hmm. And some of the younger guys, too.
Yes.
Not just goaltending.
Right. So I think it's definitely, a good move for them.
And they did indeed buy out Corey Perry.
Yes, that is official. It had to happen.
Yeah.
Now looking at,
But now it's just a matter of
yeah,
where
because
do
they
you
had
think
10.9 mil in cap space.
Yeah, where do you think he goes?
That's a good question because
Do you think LA fans are happy that Corey Perry is no longer in Anaheim?
absolutely they despise Corey Perry. They absolutely despise him.
They've had to deal with him and Getzlaf for years.
Now they don't anymore. Maybe.
Well, not as
What
long.
if he signs with the Sharks?
Well,
Obviously, it's not going to happen, but I'm just
no.
saying, what if he just signs with them just to stay in that area and piss everyone off?
That'd be great. Or just a team in the Pacific in
Yeah,
general. So
that's
they don't have
true.
to play him just as much.
That's a good point.
He goes to Arizona.
He's 34. I think if he goes anywhere, it's going to be a very short deal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally saying like 1-2 years.
Mm-hmm. That's probably going to be like Thornton. He gets a year
Yeah.
like literally every free agency is going to get a career.
Exactly. Gets re-upped 1 year.
Which, did we talk about San Jose yet or no? When we did those? Yeah, we did. We talked about San Jose last time. I forget where I was going to go with this.
Good job.
Uh-huh. I forget. Oh, yeah. The that Thornton this isn't going to be his last year, and it seems like next year is not going to be his last year either. He still wants to play. He's not lacing up the skates yet.
Yep.
Which is good for him. I think he sees that this team now could possibly get his closest chance of winning a cup.
Yeah.
So. We shall see. But I think that is everything from the league, right?
Pretty much.
Big things and everything.
That's just about it there.
But I guess now...
Actually, one more thing really quickly. So the UFA interview period officially opened this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I lied. Yesterday morning, 12:01 a.m. Clubs can now, of course, begin speaking with pending UFA free agents, but obviously cannot sign a player to the official contract until July 1st. The RFA period, the interview period, opens up in 2 days on the 26th.
Yes. And now I kind of want to get into the Flyers here, but the one thing, because I said earlier that I was going to bring up when we talk about the Flyers, is Dave Isaac, about like a half hour ago, tweeted out that the Flyers spoke with Cam Talbot's camp recently as today. 3 or 4 other teams have reached out regarding Talbot as well. So
yes.
To me, that means he's, I guess, for the Flyers, might be the leader on the backup over Elliott. That's who they're going to resign there.
Well, it's
even though there was a rumor like last week or whatever that they were possibly going to trade a goalie.
Really?
Trade for a goalie or something. But I don't think that's happening now. So.
No. I don't know. I still think that. Well, actually, let me just check. I didn't even think about this. Going to Flyers. And Michael Neuver, he's still on their roster technically. So obviously he's not getting re-signed.
No.
So that will save Philly a couple mil right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Talbot over Elliott, but at the same time, I think Talbot. It depends.
I think Talbot over Elliott at the moment because it's Carter Hart's mentor.
Right. Not only that, but I think Talbot over. Well, Talbot over Elliott only because one, Hart, but two, if we don't know what these 3 or 4 teams are offering Talbot, if they're offering him a starting goalie position, he's gone. But if it's a backup,
I don't know.
I think he would want to stay here. Because he barely got any playing time at all last year.
I'm trying to think of the teams that might have contacted him.
Right, that's what I'm trying to think.
I'm going to assume maybe Calgary just because Mike Smith is now a free agent. And
I could see Calgary going after him, and possibly that starter position.
Yeah.
That's
or maybe backup because they have a young goalie.
What about Arizona?
Maybe. They have, what's his face, though?
Not Darcy Kumper?
No. If he was going to Arizona, I think it'd be for a backup, but because they have Ronta.
They have. No, they do have Kumper.
They have Kumper.
They also
have Antti Ronta too right now.
They also have
so
Calvin Pickard.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's coming back. He was only there because he had some. They had just
that's
many
right.
injuries goaltending wise than the Flyers did.
Yeah.
So he could, if he was going to Arizona, I think it'd be similar to if he was going to Philadelphia as a backup. But I think if he was going to Philadelphia, and for just him in general, I feel like he wants to be a starter. But I feel like for him, to be his best, because we've seen that past couple of years he struggled. I think a backup role might fit him better,
right?
Especially with a backup to maybe a Carter Hart.
Yeah, because not only could Hart learn from Talbot, his mentor, but
because going back to the Ryan Miller thing, where he's probably going to be sitting more, he'll probably still get a good amount of starts.
Absolutely.
And obviously him over Elliott, if we're comparing the two. Elliott the past couple of seasons has had injuries a good amount. Not as much as Neuber, obviously, but he still got hurt a good amount. And you think with him being a backup as well, just completely back on that tandem that he was before, that would help him as well. Yeah. But I think you probably go younger with Talbot.
Yeah,
Even though I
would
think
say so.
right now, I think Elliott might be the better goaltender. I think the injuries and him being older is gonna make me say
It's you can see it's getting to him because there's a lot of times last year where he let in a lot of soft goals that shouldn't
Yeah.
have been soft goals.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's another one where if somebody offers him a starting role, he's gonna probably take it because I don't know how he feels about being a backup or a tandem. So we know how Steve Mason felt about tandems. So
Yes.
they rarely work, but when they work, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Just like at Pittsburgh. I guess that's maybe what the Flyers are hoping for.
I think so.
And I think if you do a hard top, that's obviously not as great as a Murray and Fleury, mostly because of Fleury.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think at the moment, Hart, even though he's younger and he still has room to develop, I think he has more of an upside at the moment than Murray. Maybe Murray, only because Murray's struggled the past year or so.
Yeah, I agree. So now really the biggest thing is the draft.
Yes.
So Flyers, they had the 11th overall pick, and then they had a chance to draft Cole Caulfield, a 72 goal scorer for the U.S. National Development Training Program, and then right before their pick, breaking news, the Flyers traded the 11th overall pick to the Arizona Coyotes for the 14th overall pick.
The 1 year you hope it was Arizona, it's the 1 year they're better than you.
Yep.
Or higher up in the draft.
Yes. 14th overall pick and the 45th overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
So then they just bumped down themselves 3 more spots.
Yeah.
And Cole Caulfield's still available. And yet they draft Cam York, a defenseman.
Everyone's like, who's Cam York?
This also I would love if only York was a forward.
Mm-hmm.
We also need to draft someone with the last name or with the nickname Peppermint. That way we can have York Peppermint Patty.
Mm-hmm. That was the first thing I texted you when he said York.
Yes. So here's my thought on the whole first round process. I would have absolutely 110% loved Cole Caulfield, but
I would have liked him, Newhook, or Krebs.
Yes, I would have loved Peyton Krebs as well.
Obviously, it seemed like they were just going.
Or Victor Soderstrom.
He was taken earlier.
Well, no, he was 11th overall pick.
So he would have been available at 11.
Yeah, if we decided to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you go ahead.
But that was the only thing. That it seemed like the Flyers were going
best
defense.
Available.
Best available.
Defense,
I think best available I feel like would have been Caulfield.
Well, that's what they claim to want is the best available, and they felt that was the defenseman in Cam York. My thing is that
obviously they also felt this, or it seemed to me that they spent most of their scouting wise or taking advice from the U.S. development.
No, absolutely no,
because the first couple were USHL guys.
Yeah.
Obviously kind of the better of the USHL guys. But
yeah. I think he was their top defenseman.
He was.
And then it was also...
He was, at the time, I will say this, Cam York was the best defenseman available.
Mm-hmm.
So in the statement of the best available, if you're talking best available defense at the time, it would have been him.
Yeah.
And obviously they only make the trade to go back so they can get a second rounder.
Yeah, which is absolutely huge because... Theoretically, the Flyers only gave up a third-round pick in exchange for Justin Braun. So now I'm more okay with that trade.
Yeah. But
yeah,
if you're looking at this, if you think they didn't go Caulfield because of his size, Bobby Brink is only an inch taller.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is bullshit if that is what his what it was size, because your next pick was a small guy.
Yes, it was. Brink was also a goal scorer, though.
He also had for the U.S. Development, he had a better points per game than Caulfield.
So here's the thing, though. So going back to York, though, for a split second, and then we'll go through the rest of the draft class for the Flyers. It makes sense, though, on why Fletcher chose York.
Mm-hmm.
Not only York in general, but a defenseman. Because think about it, all the Flyers' young defensemen, all their prospects, they're up now.
Yeah.
Sanheim, Provorov, they've
Mhm.
Gostisbehere, they have Phil Myers, Robert Hay you could throw in there,
Friedman.
Sam Morin. If I didn't mention Sanheim, which I think I did. Yeah, so those 5 or 6 guys or however many, they're all up now. So it's time to restock the defenseman prospect pool. And right now, Cam York instantly becomes their best defensive prospect. Because
With Friedman.
Oh, shoot, that's right, Mark Friedman. But still, if not the best, one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not many, because the pool's kind of empty right now, so they need to restock.
I get it for that, but they're also kind of not really that depth-wise winger either.
Wing they could certainly use some help on. That's why I would have loved Caulfield, but they got their sniper in Bobby Brink, the second-round pick, scored 35 goals, 33 assists, and 43 games played for 68 points. They chose all right wing and all defensemen except for one pick.
Goalie.
It went defenseman, right wing, defense, right wing, goalie.
So they were obviously looking defense and right wing. So
yes. So
and
obviously they heard you when you said they need help on the wing. One of the better picks also came later in the third round. Ronnie Attard. A lot of
it
positive.
depends on what you think of it too, because it was his third time going through the draft.
It was. Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
but you gotta wonder why. He scored 30 goals as a defenseman.
That's hard to believe too, because he's only 20. But
yeah.
I think he's just gonna go back to college. I think he's going to the same place Wade Allison's going.
No, he's in the USHL. He plays for Tri-City.
Right, but I thought next year he was gonna. Or maybe it was Cameron York.
It's probably Cam York. He is he's going to college. I know that. I want to say.
And he does have a good size.
Michigan, I think.
Attard does have a good size to him too. 6'4", 205.
Yeah, that's a good build.
I think that's the same height wise as Myers.
It's somewhere around there.
That's weird.
Then they also
he's 6'5".
Yes,
6'5", 210.
Pretty close.
So he's he's an inch taller and 5 pounds bigger, Myers, than is to
Attard. Yeah. And then Mason Millman went in the 4th round. The Flyers did not have a 5th round pick, and then they took Igor Serduk and Roddy Ross in the 6th round, then Bryce Brzezinski in the 7th round. So, but no,
and he had to obviously had to get a Bryce to try to keep up with Harper.
Yes. Also, he had to get some sort of Zinski. You have Tanner Lazinski and Carson Terwinski. Now you have Bryce Brzezinski. Yeah, so what did you think of this draft class? Because if you had to give it a grade, what would you give it? And what are your reasons?
I'd probably say B.
Okay. Why is that?
Nothing against Cam York. I just feel like he probably could have gotten a better player there. But I understand the move. I think Bobby Brink was a good pick in the 2nd round.
Yeah, he does need to work on his skating, though. I know that. That's been rumored to. It's not even been rumored. It's factual. It's been stated around, social media saying that's just one of his.
And the one thing with York is that
it
seems like all the scouting that were out there from was that he was good, but he didn't have anything that was really standoutish.
Okay.
But I do like getting 2nd round pick back.
That was big.
I think Attard, because I was watching the draft coverage when they drafted him, and it does seem like he has improved
Mm-hmm.
in those 2 years since being not drafted or whatever. But I think he could probably be a sneaky, possibly good. And the reason why I keep bringing up to Phil Myers is because Phil Myers was undrafted.
Yeah.
So I could see him possibly be good because third rounders, you still have good players around the third round. So
Yep.
and the rest of 4 through 7, we'll see.
Right.
Roddy Ross has a big hill to climb if he wants to try to be a goalie in the Flyers.
Yeah, I mean, he's got again. It takes years for a goalie to properly.
I'm not even
develop.
just saying that. I'm just saying the Flyers already kind of have a not really deep, but
No, they do. They do. Yeah,
goaltending.
Because they also have obviously besides Hart, they have Felix Sandstrom.
Felix Sandstrom. They
You
also
can throw in Alex Lyon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, another thing that happened, or what do you give the grade of the draft? Sorry.
I'm having a tough time because it's either a B or B minus.
Mm-hmm. Because this obviously was because when I was seeing all the moves going on, and I was texting you and Mitch during it while it was all happening. It seems like Fletcher's going to be different in how he handles the draft than Hextall was, but I'm also going off one draft.
Right, and Hextall has
had also this too, because Mitch brought this up as well.
4 drafts. Yeah.
The old head of scout that they had before with Hextall, his son was the scout for the USHL or US development or whatever. So I think that's why they obviously probably take a lot of his thing seriously.
Yes,
so.
no, absolutely. It was, Chris Pryor's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they obviously take his credibility seriously. So I think that's probably why they want U.S. development.
Yeah,
mostly
for sure. Honestly, so I love the pick with Cam York.
Oh, also this too.
Yes,
They took a Canadian.
They did. That they did.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the pick with Cam York.
The only problem with Cam York too, and it's gonna be sounding dumb, but defensively he's only 5'11".
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
5'11", 172. But I think he's more...
His game makes up for it.
Isn't he more puck moving?
Yeah, so he's a very good...
Because I would say it doesn't...
yeah.
If you're a puck moving, it doesn't matter that much.
Right.
Because you see a Provorov and a Ghost, and it doesn't matter that much. It just is harder for if you put him later on, if you put him PK or something, because...
Yeah.
Just because he's a little smaller.
Yeah, so I like Cam York a lot. Again, I would love to see Caulfield get drafted. I get it. They need defense.
There were obviously...
Right. But he doesn't...
There,
all right, so yes, he's a smaller defenseman. He's still a great skater with great mobility and edge work. He's a tremendous passer. That's honestly one of the best... things about him.
Mm-hmm. I think he has a good hockey IQ too.
He does. His hockey IQ is off the charts. Bill Meltzer is comparing his hockey IQ to Kimmo Timonen's.
Okay.
He's
that's probably a good comparison, probably because he was a smaller guy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect comparison.
That's probably what
he's also being compared to Brian Leach, former New York Ranger.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So his
name drops.
Yeah. He's he's got great mobility. Again, that makes him dangerous. He's going to be a reliable two-way defenseman. I am really excited about this pick. And he's got a good shot as well. But all in all, he's a good rounded defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best attribute for him is his passing. His passing game. His passing skills are off the charts. So that's where I kind of stand with that.
Okay.
Second round pick, Bobby Brink. I like the fact that the Flyers got a second round pick back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that
I
they
feel
grabbed
like
a
they-
sniper with that second-round pick.
I kind of had this feeling now that they got Bobby Brink that they were hoping maybe he'd be around there when they traded for it.
Well, yeah, because, and that's exactly what they're hoping for. Because
They lost. I think they kind of wanted Caulfield
yes,
at that pick, but they also knew we kind of need defense too.
right.
So they went with York, and then they said, okay.
Let's get a sniper now,
And
and
we
then
s-
that's why they
and
made the trade.
Through the U.S. development, they saw Bobby Brink was just as good
Yeah.
offensively. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think the only thing really Brink needs to work on that I'm aware of is his skating. Kind of reminds me of how Matthew Strome isn't the best skater.
yeah,
Good offensive player, but not the best skater. Brink's kind of the same way. I think.
some may argue that Bestrom.
Yeah,
Guess he's on the Flyers.
you're not
You
wrong.
just need to get Dylan.
Yes.
You need to get a brother
Yes. Yes,
or
we
his
do.
other brother.
I prefer Dylan
You
Strome.
prefer Dylan?
Dylan over Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. But yeah, no. Again, it's those two picks that jump out the most to me. Obviously, with first and second round pick. They got a goalie, which helps, but they drafted him in the 6th round. So again, far kind of a far shot from making the team, but got years to go. And yeah, it's
That's the other problem with the similar to the goalies is the defense is that yes, they're up now, the younger guys, but they're also younger guys. So if you're one of these guys like a Cam York or Ronald Attard,
yes,
or even the guys they drafted last draft, and even Friedman, is that you're gonna have to hope that your spots there after Niskanen and Braun are gone.
yeah,
Because at least by then you'd hope, okay, Provorov's older now, Sanheim's older, Myers is older, whatever you do with Morin and Hig,
yeah,
they can go then be like, okay, let's now try to make a name for ourselves. Well, because these guys are both, Niskanen and Braun are older, so
yeah.
they have a couple years left. So in a couple years, you'd hope, okay, maybe these guys will be ready and take the spot for them.
Right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But,
Yeah.
all in all, it's especially for
Mhm.
Chuck Fletcher's first draft class as a Flyers GM.
Yep.
It's a real solid one.
I think so. We'll see how it plays out, obviously, but
Yeah.
but sticking on with the Flyers too is that they made this is obviously older, but kind of looking back on all the moves they made in the past week or so. Which one stands out to you the most? The Niskanen trade, Justin Braun, obviously they acquired him,
Yeah. Well, now
and now
yeah.
now that they got Hayes for
Oh yeah.
a little more than not even a little more than I would have given him.
Yes. Hayes' deal, which we didn't even go over yet. 7 years.
7 years, 50 million,
7.14
7.14.
average.
Yeah.
That number scares me a little bit.
It does.
I'm not going to lie. I can't. It does scare me. But he's locked up for several years, obviously, as the number 2 center. And then you have Nolan Patrick, who I think is going to have his best season yet because of the signing. Because it really is going to help Patrick develop as a true center in the third.
There's that, and I keep seeing this too,
On the third
because
line.
now that they got Hayes, everyone keeps saying that they would put JVR and Voracek with them. But I'm thinking of this like strategery, that I would assume defensively Giroux and Couturier would go after the top guys.
Yeah.
The second line would go after the next pair,
Yeah.
say like the Malkins and them. And then I'd feel like for Patrick then he would have an easier time or easier opponent to go up against.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would want to actually move JVR to Patrick's line. Just because I don't really think, mostly because of his defensive ability.
And he's a great passer.
I'd move Lindblom and JVR.
Ooh, Lindblom's
So
the
I'd
second
put-
line.
yeah.
I like that.
So I'd then have Patrick, JVR, and whoever
I
the
like
third line
that.
guy is. Because
Well,
then I think with that, Patrick would then have, I think, a clear
Yes.
year. With
here's
JVR.
my thing. Because you were saying the third line guy, it could be a prospect, Morgan Frost,
Sure.
or
Or Ratcliffe or whoever.
Ratcliffe, or because there's been rumors the Flyers have been
Yes.
talking with pending free agent Wayne Simmons,
Mhm.
a possible return to Philadelphia. Depending on the price,
Yes.
I can really see Simmons coming back.
I think he'd want to come back, but
He'll
he would
love to
have
come
to
back.
take a kind of decent pay cut
yeah.
to come here.
Yeah. Again, that's why I said depending on the price. Also, it's been rumored the Penguins have been showing interest in him,
That makes sense.
which makes sense. But would
It makes
Simmons
sense
really
'cause-
want to play for Pittsburgh?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But you could probably say the same thing about Max Talbot, Yager,
Yeah.
Niskanen.
yeah.
Not that Niskanen really had a choice on
Nope.
it, but Niskanen went to Washington, so
Yeah.
who and right up there with Philadelphia's a rival with them. So
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that was just something I would say, just because I feel like that one you can spread out the offense more, and that one I think one could help Lindblom because I think Lindblom has a better defensive ability at the moment than I think JVR would. So I think he
Mhm.
would be a better fit with Kevin Hayes and Voracek. And obviously we saw last year that that Chuck
Mm.
was good with him being on the second line. Even the first line at points too. Not that I think he's
Mhm.
taking TK's spot on the first pair or first unit or first line. But yeah, I do think though with the Hayes signing that I kind of feel Holmgren was a little bit in Fletcher's ear on that one,
Yeah.
and that he didn't really want Hayes to actually go to free agency.
Which no, I
So
get.
he did feel he's like spent a bit of money.
Just a little bit.
So I think they were afraid 6 years, 6.5 was going to be where it wasn't going to be enough for Hayes to say yes. So they tacked on another year and a little over $1 million more to sign him.
Right. I don't know. I thought 6 years would have been plenty.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not. But you knew that he was going to get paid. But here's the other thing, because a lot of people are
He will be
pretty
30, he will be 34
33
when the contract
33,
ends.
34, yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are obviously upset with this deal, which I can see.
Mm-hmm.
But think about this, though. JVR is getting paid $7 million.
True.
So, I don't know. I'm optimistic about this whole thing. I am hoping it'll pan out, but
Do you think the Flyers are
yeah.
improved after these moves?
Yes, because they do have a number 2 center.
Mhm.
Officially, they have a number 2 center. They can let Patrick progress at number 3, and hopefully over time. Obviously, it's not ideal if you bump Hazy down to your third line, and you're paying him $7.5 million per year or whatever it is to be on your third line. But still, the way I see it sometimes is, at this point, the Flyers might not even have a third line. It might be a first line and 2 second lines.
I'm fine with that.
Exactly. So
The only question is
Yeah.
going to be the defense.
exactly.
Unfortunately, I feel the best pair is probably going to be the Myers and Ghost pair, if you believe Chuck and him saying that they're not shopping him.
Yeah. He said on air in an interview with Elliot Freeman that we're not actively shopping him. So
We'll see, but
make that what you want.
because I'm assuming the pairs would be Provorov, Niskanen, Braun, Sanheim, and then Myers,
Ghost. I wouldn't mind that
And
because that way a lefty is paired with at least one righty. I would love that.
and then whoever plays better out of Haig or Morin,
I think
or
it's
even
Morin. Or even trade Haig.
because
Take Morin.
Haig at the moment has more value than Morin does.
Yeah.
And for the older kind of NHL guys, they do like the stats he kind of
They
provides.
do, yeah.
The blocking shots and hits and everything.
Yeah.
So if they were to make like a small trade for like a winger or something, I think he might be a part of it. And even with that, I think a 7th and a Haig or Bourne is still good.
Oh, absolutely.
I just said
Much better than where they've been lately.
Oh yeah. But the question mark is going to be Braun and Niskanen. Both of them had off years last year.
They did. One thing
Obviously,
that
Braun.
yeah.
The one thing with Braun is he has no offensive abilities, which means Sanheim's going to be let loose more.
Yeah, which is fine because he's obviously
going to be fine because he's obviously going to know Braun's back there.
Yeah, not only that, but he's an extreme offensive defenseman.
Yeah,
you saw some of the moves he pulled off last year.
Yeah,
he's going to do it just as much this year, if not even more.
That's a toss-up, but I'd say he's probably your best offensive. Defenseman.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Even though Ghost is really good offensively, I would say Sanheim is better there.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I think all in all, though, the Flyers, they're in a much better spot. Especially with all the draft picks now. Now upcoming for them is the free agency, which is July 1st. I don't really see them doing a whole lot. It's either they're signing, so that's literally next Monday is free agency.
Yep.
1 week from today. I think it's either.
I take it Jeff doesn't work, and that's why he did the little fist pump there.
That is exactly why, yeah. So you know what I'm doing all day. But I think the only major thing that the Flyers need, obviously besides a backup goalie, it's either Talbot or look for someone else. Or there's that a third line winger, which could be Wayne Simmons.
Sure.
That's I think all you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then obviously just re-sign the rest of the RFAs. Sanheim is officially off that list, thank goodness. So you just have Provorov, Konechny, Lawton. I think Justin Bailey as well.
Veroni is a UFA.
Veroni's a UFA, but I can see him just walking.
I think he's just gonna walk,
which I'm fine with.
Or they're just going to keep him in the AHL.
Yeah, which also I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question mark's going to be the defense.
Exactly. Get Provorov re-signed first, then we'll worry about the defense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. So, I think, with that being said, I think this is going to be where we end it today.
And then we will cover the Vancouver and the rest
next
of that Pacific Division.
Wednesday. We're going to plan on being on again.
Yes.
And maybe then we'll get to the how we feel in the Metro and everything. But until then, we'll see you.